313watkins.com. Streaming on Roku.
Welcome. Y'all, I am back. Thank y'all for showing up today. It is Tuesday, and you are here with your host, Kimberly Clemens of Chats and Chuckles. And I'm telling you, even though I've been on a hiatus for a few weeks, I'm here to tell y'all, I am here with some extra special guests again. It will never stop. Every time you come, you will have some extra special people. I first want to say thank you so much to my sponsor today, Pastor Overman, and Operation Refuge. She is amazing.
Yes.
So thank you so much for doing that. And I just want to give a quick shout out to what she's doing. She has got some amazing things that are happening with her summer discovery program, Operation Refuge Leaders in Training program for 14-year-olds. So grandmas, moms, dads, grandpas, aunties, uncles, if you got some 14-year-olds out there that are looking to get paid and do a program that's positive, come on and connect them to the Summer Discovery Program. That's going to be happening July 6th through August 7th. That's going to be Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. You need to reach out. Contact Zena at operationrefuge.org. You want to get your 14-year-olds signed up, and you do not want them to miss out on this opportunity. So once again, thank you so much, Pastor Overman, and all that you do. Now, let's get rolling, y'all. I got the best guest here today. I want to introduce my beautiful guest today. I will tell you, it is truly a godsend that they are here. Let's start with the beautiful Miss Octavia Smith. Woo.
Hey, y'all, Grand Rising. Here in the flesh with Miss Kim.
That's right.
Chats and Chuckles.
Chats and Chuckles, right? I am so blessed to have her here and to have her wonderful son here, Jewel Jones. I am so grateful.
Yes. Yeah, so happy to be here too with you on this wonderful, wonderful program. Hello, everybody.
Holla.
Yeah, I want to tell you that this is truly a blessing for me, because when you do write things down, it does make a difference. You write the vision, make it plain, that stuff will come to pass. So I will say, it is truly a blessing to have both of you here today. Now, my magic question to every guest is, who are you? So we're going to start with you, Miss Octavia. Who are you?
Well, who am I? Generally, when I get that question, I say that I'm a soldier.
Come on, soldier.
You know, I'm a member of the Spiritual Israel Church's Army. I'm a mom.
Yes.
But before I became a mom, I was a daughter, a sister.
Yeah.
Then I became an aunt, a niece. You know, and I am me. I am loved because it's the way God made me. So
Amen.
That's who I am.
That's who I am. And it's so wonderful to know who you are.
Yes.
So wonderful.
I feel like I'm a blessing too.
Amen.
Yes.
You are.
Amen.
You are. All right, let's go. Jewel, who are you?
I'm follow suit. You know? I'm a son and a brother and an uncle and a godfather. But you know, like she mentioned, I think before anything, I am a son of a true and a living God. You know, that dwells inside each and every one of us. And so, I'm love, I'm peace, I'm joy, all those fruits of the spirit, and I'm a culmination of everyone I've ever known, everything I've ever known, everything I've ever experienced. And so, I am you. I'm you.
Come on.
We all make up the fabric that is me.
Yeah.
And so I'm just happy to be in good company always.
What an amazing thing when you have a mom and a son that know who they are. Mm-hmm. That's a true blessing. And I want to just give a shout out to you. Happy Mother's Day.
Same, likewise.
Yeah, thank you. And
Every day.
though we celebrated it, as the world celebrated it, we celebrate mothers every day.
Every day.
Every
Yes, ma'am.
single day.
Amen.
So I brought you both here just
Lord.
really to be able to share with us, not just who you are, but some of the things that you do. Mm-hmm. And because of the things that you do, it reflects who you are. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the things that brought you to where you are today? Like, how did you get here?
Wow, yeah, she's asking a loaded question, right? Well, as I've stated before, I am a member of the Spiritual Israel Church's Army. I celebrated 40 years being on the Mother's Board last year.
Come on, Mother's
40
Board.
years as a mother in the Spiritual Israel Church, which is a major milestone. And I was very surprised last year. I mean, I've been, gotten awards for so many different things, community health work and things. But I was at church last year, and we were having our Nurses and Ushers Day. And they called me to be a super nurse and a super usher. I'm like, what?
Oh,
what is y'all
super.
talking about?
Look
Y'all,
at the super.
they had me crying. I'm like, all of this was so unexpected.
Yeah.
So I trying to be an example of love and light to my family first, my children, my nieces, nephews, whomever. And then, of course, when you're doing that, it's going to come back to you.
Absolutely.
So I try to put out the light, and the light comes back.
Amen.
So
Amen.
that's
That's
what I'm
good.
feeling
And come
like
on
right
with the Mother's Board and the Usher Board. We don't hear about that too much nowadays, right?
Right.
And the Super Award.
I was like, man, y'all need to quit all this, because I was like, what? And then they had me this little brochure, and they said, Mother Octavia, just prepare yourself. I'm like, prepare myself, and they really shocked me. They got me good. I will admit it. They got me real good. Super. And now, even to today, they like, hey, super nurse, hey, super Ursula. Okay, whatever.
That's
Thank y'all.
huge milestone.
It was.
A great honor,
Truly,
I bet.
truly.
And to be reared and raised in that, and then to just be who you are.
Yes.
Having that type of foundation. Mm-hmm. I know it means a lot to you.
Yes.
And then when you hear Mom talking about super, I know that has to make you proud to watch your mom, walk and all of that.
Yeah, the whole reason I really say that I've accomplished anything, and it's really that we've accomplished the things, is my parents, in my village, they took me and my sister like literally everywhere when we were little, dragging us around community events, church events.
That's what we do, right?
That's
with
what
our
we
children,
do,
right?
yes.
And whether we realize it or not, that stuff is important, because it gives us this kind of like this tempo that we can maintain for the rest of our lives, for a life of service.
Yeah.
And so I seeing my mom get honored, a quiet worker. My father the same way, but it's really nice when somebody can just pause for a minute and we can just say thank you.
Yeah.
So I was happy that she, that was real nice.
That's really cool, and I'm glad that you talk about how Mom took you everywhere.
Right.
Because as parents, sometimes we do what we have to do, but we know that when we drag our children, it's for the best. Mm-hmm. And they'll learn and have experiences that you probably wouldn't be able to compare to other kids. They don't have those type of experiences. So, that's really good, to hear. So now Mom got here through the Usher Board. She got here through the Mother's Board, and, doing all that good stuff. How did you get here?
Yeah. Well, I was on. I ushered a little bit before. I even nursed a little bit before.
I had him doing all of it too.
But all that. I think the church definitely prepared me for so much in my life, whether it was politics or the military or just being in society at large, because it was like a everything I experienced in that organization I'm able to put in practice in the world. But beyond church, I mean, got the military, we got politics, school, just community service in general. It was so many different experiences and things that I was exposed to coming up. It all just prepared me for this moment, and I'm still being prepared.
Yes, that's cool. Do you ever feel like, with all that you have your hand in, do you ever feel like, people may think, oh, you in too much, you're doing too much? You ever feel like that?
No, never like that. I think, if you got too much on your plate, you just gotta get a bigger plate sometimes. And you can't let other people who are too scared to do things or too jaded to do things tell you can't do them.
That's huge.
So I've always been a big proponent of exhausting our resources. While we can. And enjoy everything to the fullest. That's what I was always taught. Live life to the fullest. X, Y, and Z. And so. God of Israel blesses me to do these different things I'm going to do them.
Come on, God of Israel. I love it. I love it. So what are your passions, Octavia? Like, are you into politics? Are you into?
I am not into politics, but I will support. I will support. My son and other families who are into politics. I will support. What I love to do is I'm a seamstress. I love to sew, make small items. I love to help people with resources.
Y'all hear that? She a seamstress. I need a dress.
Ote Designs.
I need
Ote Designs at gmail.com. Just look me up.
Okay.
But I just love helping people, and I know in order to help others, gotta help me.
Yeah.
So keeping the lines of things open, doing what I need to do. Like Joel said, we just gotta do it.
Yeah.
And not listen to all the riffraff that's coming around.
Yeah. I see myself in you. Like when I look at the different things that I do, I always try to say, well, it all go together.
Right.
Like it all work together. But anytime you find that you're interested in something, why not try it?
Exactly.
So has there been something that you have not tried yet that you are thinking about doing? You said.
I think he tried everything.
Yeah. I mean, even right now, like I've watching my father and others like work with their hands and stuff like that. In the skilled trades and stuff. I'm doing that. It's just what I just be trying. I've started my life over so many different times. It's crazy. I'm like on my 4th or 5th, 6th, 7th life, right now. So it's just I'm constantly just experimenting, because it's just so much to learn, for a lot of different reasons. So I'm still out there searching and looking for things.
And he haven't shared that he's a musician. He plays drums, piano, guitar.
See how he tried to hold
and the triangle, all of them. Tambourine.
He
So multi-talented, gifted musician.
Yeah. But that's only because I was following the footsteps of everybody else around me. So everything I seen somebody else do, it's like I can probably do that. Yeah.
Wow. Now, so let me ask, how old are you?
I just turned 31. So
y'all, look at this baby. He a baby and
my old head over the hump now. Yeah.
Wow, 30.
Double humps.
30.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, too, like just having you two here, it just reminds me, of my son. Mm-hmm. I look at the love that you have, for your mom. And then, as a mom, you always want your children to love on you and love you. When a son does that to a mom, it's an extra special, extra special thing. So to see how far he has gotten, and how far you've come, and the things that you've experienced in life. Like you young, you still got a whole lot of life,
That's true.
To explore, so much more. So you say you're not into politics, but you will support.
Absolutely.
Is there anything that you see where you like, nah, Jewel, I need you to hold up on that? Like, think about that again.
Well, only when it comes to social media, I do tell him, but he's grown and he's going to do what he's going to do. But I do try to encourage him a little like, you don't need to say everything, all the time. Somebody will get to it, but again, he's a grown young man.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind the social
media. He likes
media.
the disruption, Sometimes he likes
That's probably
all
the
that
nature.
extra
Right.
part that's
He
coming
likes
back.
the action.
He likes the
Yes,
action.
yes, indeed.
So-
That's his Spidey stuff coming out, His Spidey senses and all that kind of good stuff.
Thanks for clearing that up.
You know what? I love it because as a parent, we want to protect our children.
Absolutely.
But I love that she said you're an adult. And one thing when our children become adults, we have to let them become adults.
They have to.
And they have to make their own mistakes as much as we don't want them to.
That's right.
But it is also good for that adult to kind of keep your spidey senses
Exactly.
open so that you can always have that in the back of your mind, like, okay, it's for my good.
Correct.
So I love how you two, work together on that. But even the community part too, because you're heavily in the community and you're heavily, in the community. So do you guys do things together?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and especially now, I actually just recently, probably say maybe a month ago, I was elected president of the Chamber of Commerce out of Inkster, and
Listen at that, y'all.
She's been the veteran secretary, ambassador, honorary president, honorary everything for the chamber for such a long time, keeping it going.
That's the super though.
It'd be some places people be colleagues of mine. I remember even back in the day, state reps and mayors and stuff. Or the lieutenant governor, even I remember years ago, they would be sending me selfies with my mom because she out somewhere in the community doing stuff. I met your mom today. So, we're always running into each other in circles, and it's a few things we coordinate on as well. So. Yeah,
that's amazing.
heavy.
So congratulations to you to that new office.
Thank you.
So now, how difficult is it to make the decision to run for an office? Because you've run for a couple of things. So how difficult is it to make a decision on which office to run?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's not I personally don't think it's difficult because I'm just task oriented. I just be ready to get out there a lot of times, and really how I first got started on city council and in the state legislature was because people encouraged me to run, and I was like, well, that sounds like a great idea, and I think that it makes it a lot easier, when you got people around you that says like, hey, this is something you might be a good fit for, and I think we had to do that more as a community too. I think that's where we dropped the ball at a lot. We don't do a lot of succession planning in our community. Elections come around and everyone wants to throw their hat in the race instead of us coming together and saying, hey, let's go ahead and put this person up for office, and we can all get behind them and support them. So.
Yeah, and that's cool because you were very young, as the youngest on city council, at the time, right? So when you think about how a community could rally around a young person and then steer and guide, and then you also, pick up on that, learn and do all that you can for the people. What was that like, though, like to actually win? Now, the excitement of, oh, you should run, that's one thing, right? But to win.
Yeah, it was, I think for me, I really was just relishing in the pleasure everybody else had around it, because it was like this energy around that happening, and just sitting back and just seeing how happy everybody was and how everybody's on the same page. We were all just having a great time. It was really beautiful, and the opportunity for us to be able to open doors for people and really usher in a whole different perspective in politics at the time, and open the door for a lot of young people was great.
That right there. Do you know how many young people were inspired? Like, do you realize the magnitude of what you put in the hearts of people, at that time? Yeah, like that was. I
see the young people stepping up ever since Jewel has been elected into those offices, and they come to him. I mean, he's like their counselor, whatever. I mean, they come to him even now, like, what should I do? What should I do? And he gives them some tidbits, and they be going on their way,
Yeah.
Even older persons, not just young persons.
Yeah, you got to. Like, the older people will learn from the younger, and the younger learn from the older, right?
Absolutely.
And I think one of my favorite moments was when you were sitting in the office and you took the picture. You had your feet up, But it to me, it just displayed that, like, I'm here.
Right.
I'm who I am, and I'm here. Right. But I'm here to do the work.
Exactly.
Now, was it a lot of work to do?
I don't think so. I think that, I mean, there's for sure, it's literally a lot of work to do. But I think when you do it, like we had a huge team, and I mean had a staff of volunteers and ambassadors and different leaders, and everybody wanted to rally around. So it's like an old African proverb says, many hands make the load lighter, I believe. And so, it didn't seem like it was a lot of work because,
look like you was having fun, though.
It was a great time, and everybody enjoyed what we were doing.
Yeah.
And so, everything made sense. It wasn't stressful. It wasn't, we were just having a great time, doing what we could for
helping
our
the people, helping the community.
Yeah.
Bridges.
And, I think about, too, like the older people, just how they even felt inspired, to see somebody young wanting to, take on, and run the race. So now when you look back on that, the things that you're doing today, with the chamber, like how do you connect what you did back then to what you're doing today? To be successful.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to relationships, and so like even whether it's the chamber or anything else I'm involved in now, it's about the people, the network that we have, the relationships that we've cultivated now. How do we tap into that to help really build up the community even more, and in a different aspect. The chamber is more focused on business in the community, advocating for startups and, giving people different resources. So who can I call on now to really pour into us? And so I think that's probably the biggest thing, is just the relationships and making sure that that's steadily being cultivated and, developed still, even to this day. That's
really good, really amazing. Now, you both are from Inkster?
I was born and raised in the city of Detroit.
Come on, Detroit. East side? All right, west side for me, but...
I eventually moved over to the west side in 1970. Yeah.
You knew the west
graduated
side
from the Big Mac, Mackenzie High School. Yeah.
Okay,
so, yeah.
My husband graduated from Mackenzie.
Yeah, class 1981.
Back in the day.
That sounds like a long time ago, man. Now that I'm saying it out loud.
now let me ask you this: do you ever go back? Like, do you do the reunions and things?
I've tried to do multiple reunions, but I just recently met a senior lady at the Senior Regional Collaborative. We had a chaos event, and she was like, what high school you go to? And she said, I asked everybody that question. I told her I went to Mackenzie. And she said, well, why haven't you been to? I said, I've been trying. Miss Frederica been trying to get me in these here. But, every time I'm always somewhere else. But I do plan on it. But I've been back on Wyoming and Chicago to look at my school that they torn down, hurt my feelings. But, that was not the only one that they torn down. Inkster Public Schools. But I didn't go to Inkster Public Schools. But yes, I'm always trying to get there, but I haven't made it yet. But I do look forward to getting to some of those class reunions.
Yeah, you do. You got to get there. My husband, he goes, and they put on a really good reunion. Mm-hmm. They have a great connection, with their classes. Mm-hmm. So definitely get there, because I know they'll enjoy, seeing you.
I'm looking forward. Well, I am one of 9 children. Okay. So I'm the 6th out of 9. So all of my other siblings went to Mackenzie, and they were like little bad people. I mean, not bad people, but they were like the good people. They looked out for their little sisters and brothers, who followed their footsteps. So they knew the Smith family, the Key Dogs, and Kentucky Dogs, or whatever you want to call us.
Hey, look, y'all better look out for them. All right, y'all, we're going to take a really quick break. Please go grab your coffee, your tea, put your feet up, and come right back. Ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ah.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
Good morning. Today's a beautiful day, and today's not only a beautiful day because we're here in Inkster, but it's a beautiful day because I'm here with Pastor Gene Overman. I have the pleasure to serve on Operation Refuge as a board of director. This organization not only serves Inkster, but the neighborhood communities. I mean, the work we do here is beyond. It's led by Pastor Gene Overman. I've known Pastor Gene Overman for over 10 years. Everybody claims that that's her son, this is that. I mean, we go way back. She's mentored me. She's helped me throughout my career. I love you, Pastor. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on today?
Well, we're so excited, and thank you, Safe, for bringing a team in to really help us get the word out. Today we're doing our food that we do consistently every Wednesday and Thursday throughout the month, and just very excited to share with everyone listening that Operation Refuge has Mother's Pantry. It is a client choice food pantry that we are very thankful that you come in here and it's a place of dignity. You shop just like you're at Trader Joe's, hopefully, or one of the better grocery stores. So we're on the main strip because we want our families to leave those houses if you have a need and come over. And that's whether you're here, Dearborn Heights, Garden City, all of our surrounding communities in Southeast Michigan, Wayne County, actually. We really serve great food, and we have lots of programs. But today we're here talking about Mother's Pantry, and you get the chance to see some of the interactivity at Mother's Pantry with our families. And sometimes there's a great need, and sometimes you find yourself the working, underemployed. So we have lots of Alice families where you're right at that threshold where you cannot receive benefits, but you still need that support. So we're very thankful that through many partnerships with Operation Refuge, we are able to provide good, nutritious food.
What I love about our pantry is the fact that you can come in, park your car, and shop like you're walking into a grocery store. Nobody can tell you you can't take this or you can't take that. That's a sense of pride where you're not hurting anybody's feelings, and then I can walk in, get what I want, and leave. I mean, that's an amazing.
And you leave with your dignity, and oftentimes when we have food insecurity, you feel some sort of way to start with, right?
Absolutely.
So when you come in, we want to have the best choices.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we really do have excellent choices. We have halal, we have kosher, and we have partners that ensure that we keep what all of our families need.
Yeah.
So we're just very thankful.
It's your leadership and your vision. That's why, right?
And the board of directors, right?
Absolutely.
I can't get it done without you all. And as you see from the young man, you leave with fresh pineapple.
I love it.
Food,
I love it.
Right? And whether you're walking or you're able to drive up, our door is open for you.
And then the line, I can see the line.
Yeah,
I mean, when I
actually
pulled up, was all the it was all the way down to the STEM building. So it's amazing. It's a sunny day. Come to Inkster, folks. Thank you, Pastor. I love you.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm the new girl at WHPR, Kimberly Clemens, the host of Chats and Chuckles. Tune in on Tuesdays, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Chats and Chuckles. I am here to bring life to the chatter that matters.
If you enjoyed the music, the talk, and the vibe right here on WHPR, we need your support. Help us keep independent radio alive by sending a Cash App donation of whatever you can to $WHPR TV Radio. Every dollar makes a difference. That's $WHPR TV Radio. Support the station that supports you.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri. If you're behind on your property taxes, we have programs to help. You don't have to lose your house, and you don't have to pay all at once. This summer, our mobile unit will be visiting Wayne County communities to help make it easier to start a payment plan and keep your property. Go online or call to find the plan that's right for you and where you can get help from our mobile unit. The last thing I want is for anyone to lose their property to foreclosure. Make your payments every month and keep your property.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
.313watkins.com. Streaming on Roku.
Ooh. Ooh.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm so glad that you're back. We've been having a great time here with Miss Octavia Smith and her son, Jewel Jones. Y'all, this is one of the best shows that I can tell you that I'm so enjoying myself as I do each show. But we're just going to continue our conversation because I will call these two the dynamic duo. Because just the love that you have for one another, the things that you do with your family. And hello, sister, because we know that you looking and watching. We're saying hello to you. But just the love that you have for community, the things that's in your heart. I admire that, between the two of you. So as we talk about things that are happening for you today, what are some things that you got lined up?
Are you talking to me first, Jewel first?
It doesn't matter. Whoever got their stuff lined up first. Who got it?
Well, I will say that with Ote Designs, which is my LLC, I've been sewing since I've been 6 years old, but I didn't open up my LLC until 2020, even though I've been sewing down through the years. So I am on a line right now where I am pushing some bag stuffers to anyone who need them, and I know most of us need them. We take those little garbage bags, we stick them under our cabinet, and they're just floating everywhere. So I basically sell something to contain those in, and I try to sell at least 3 a day. So if I can get more than that, that would be popping for me.
All
so
right.
that's
Come
my
on,
little
bag
ESA right now. So that's one of the things I do. But I do a lot of sewing for the church, of course, and for my family. So hey.
Okay, so you looking for new customers?
Always looking for a new customer.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna take my deal right now. I'm a new customer. So you got that going on. Anything that's happening in the community with your position or anything?
Well, yes. Like I said, I am a community health worker, so they call me the walking resource. And if people need anything, whether it's food, appliances, housing, social services, anything like that, they just hook me up. My phone number, everybody has it, and then they just reach out to me and say, how can I do this, how can I get this? And if I can't get it for you, I will get you to the person who can do it for you.
That's amazing.
So and I don't like to give out bad information, something that's old, that's been in the book, that's stale, outdated. So I try to keep all of my resources up to date. So when people ask, I give them something that's new, that's fresh, that can be used. In the community, as we've spoken about earlier, we do have a couple of grand openings in the city of Inkster today.
Openings.
We will be doing our general membership meeting for the Inkster Chamber of Commerce at City Hall tonight. 26215 Trowbridge in Inkster, 5:30. In case you guys are new or open business upcoming and you're excited need some help, some resources, come see us at the Inkster Chamber. Those are some of the things that I have going on right now. Of course, it's time for our family union to roll around, our General Assembly. Family union is always the first Saturday in June, so we're getting ready for that. And then we have our General Assembly, which will start, I don't know the date, but it will be in Belleville, Michigan. 2 weeks of just loving on each other from all of our churches, our 33 churches around these United States, coming together for 2 weeks to just pounce and love on each other.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes, it is very amazing.
That's some good, fun stuff that's happening, right?
Fun, blast. All kind of great stuff. Good food, good fun, good preaching, good singing, good fellowship. So, yeah, we look forward. I know I look forward to it. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's cool. One of the things that you talked about was making sure that the resources are up to date.
Yes, ma'am.
That is one of the best things that you could have said today.
Yes.
Because a lot of times when we want to help people, we give them numbers that are either closed down or we give them a name of a person that's no longer there.
Absolutely.
That's so good that you you said that. So people, when you're out there and you're sharing resources, sharing information, check the information.
Yes.
Check it, call it. You know, I'm good for, like, if I'm working with someone in domestic violence, I'll call the shelter.
Yes.
I'll find out what the process is. So then when someone's looking for, shelter or something, I can give them a step ahead, because they're already in a crisis.
All right.
So they need to make sure that, the things are like they're supposed to be, a help.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because it's nothing worse than giving someone a number that's, disconnected, an address that you can't get anything from. And that's what I love about Pastor Overman. Mama's pantry, mother's pantry.
Yeah.
You can get what you need if you're hungry.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So we try to make sure that people are well known about that in the city of Inkster and around surrounding communities as well.
Absolutely.
She's been around forever, and it's such a blessing
for
the city of Inkster.
Yeah, we thank you too, Pastor Overman, because, having that in the community, a lot of organizations don't survive.
Absolutely.
And no matter what you do, when God is on your side, he not only will help you to stand in there, but he'll provide the resources.
Yes, absolutely.
And she's definitely helping the people in the community. And people want to come out and serve and help.
Yes. Volunteer. Come out and volunteer. Call the pantry.
Yeah. Yeah, so Inkster is one of them towns where I think people should know the history. People should know, more about, what's happening around, in the city. So with you, your roots, with you having those roots in that city and being a part of that, like how do you keep people connected, to not just the resources, but other people?
Yes.
In the community. I mean, you said people know your number.
Yeah, they know
people
my
reach
number.
out to you. So how do you keep the residents connected?
Yeah. What I would say is, we got, of course, on social media, all these different groups and whatnot, but it's a family community. It's a lot of families out in Inkster, and it really is, though things have kind of changed over the years a little bit, people still all know each other for the most part.
Yeah.
We have new people that come into the community or renters and stuff like that, but for the most part, a lot of people know who each other are. And so people stay in touch. And we have a historian actually out in Inkster. His name's Robert Turley, and he does, regular events at the Malcolm X Center, the Malcolm X House, and bus tours through the city. And so residents really have a chance, even like you're talking about history, say, how did Inkster really start? Where did it come from? Who are all the great people that lived out here? Who are all the people that contributed to it? Because Inkster really, I like to tell people, is like everyone is connected to Inkster in some form or fashion.
Yes.
And just really learning, and what you said is so important, just learning about our history. Knowing where we come from a lot of times can help motivate us to do more in the direction that we're going.
Yeah.
And so, but everybody knows each other for the most part. And the people that we don't know, it's just a door away. You just gotta go knock on the door or see them at the next event.
Yeah.
And that's really how we just all stay connected.
That's cool. So I want to tell y'all, we used to live in Inkster.
See?
So when you say, like, we all connected, we all got some history. We used to live on Burns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Burns Street. And then there was a school across the street. I think it was like either Middle Belt or Inkster Road, but I guess they closed they closed the high school. We stayed right around the corner from the high school at the time. But one thing I loved about Inkster was everybody knew everybody.
Right.
They knew we wasn't from Inkster.
Yeah.
They knew that, but everybody was very kind, very nice, very loving, and they wanted you to be there. That's what I really liked about that. Are there still a lot of young people in Inkster?
There are still a lot of young people, but Inkster has been deemed a senior community due to the fact that a lot of the seniors that are living there grew up there. Inkster was incorporated in 1964, became a city. So we celebrated 60 years in 2024 as a city. Right. And we had a big celebration, which was absolutely beautiful. Inkster is 6.6 square miles, so we're not that big. Anywhere you go in Inkster, you can literally walk, ride your bike or whatever, get on your scooter, whatever you want to do. But it's a beautiful community, loving community. A lot of times we do get a lot of flip-flack because of some of the things that people see on social media or on the news.
Yeah.
The news like to spread a lot of bad news, untruth news. But when you really get there and be in the city, you know that it's full of love. and the community loves each other. So,
yeah, that's really good to know too, because you think about when the news, are reporting the things that are happening. It's a lot of the negative things that are happening. But thank God for social media too, because there are a lot of things that are good that are happening that people are putting on, social media. So, I think we feel the same way about Detroit.
I'm born and raised. I'm Detroit now.
We feel the same way. There are a lot of great things that are happening. Whether it's with businesses, families, a lot of things good. But the news will report the killings. They'll report all of the stuff. And though we need to know some of those things, that are happening, but let's harp on those things that are making a difference, in the community.
Yes.
So with you, I want to know, who are some of the people that you've met? Because like me, I'm on cloud 9, really, because you guys really are people that I really wanted to meet, really wanted to spend some time with, and I just feel like now I get to run and tell everybody else, like, yo, I did it, I met them. So who are some of the people that you've met or that you want to meet that that you feel like made a difference?
Yeah, well, I met you. I think
appreciate that.
Really though, I think that for me, like I've met a lot of folks that, like for example, like Minister Farrakhan, that I used to watch on YouTube or see at stuff. Or I went to Million Man March. Well, I didn't go, but I got a picture of it from when I was born that year. And like I met him, and so that's like. Those kind of things are interesting because because it's like at a distance and then I see it, but I feel like that way because I feel like so many people have so much to offer, and so every time I meet somebody new, it's like I wonder what I'm about to learn today. I wonder where this is going to take us. But it's been so many people just. I mean, I remember meeting Shaq years ago. He was on a roller coaster ride I was about to get on, and his legs was just dangling all. He was just too big. And I was
like, get off this ride.
Yeah, but it's just a lot of people like that. But and what I've always come to realize too is that these people that are at a distance, once we connect or we run into each other, that we're all just people.
We're all just people.
And that's what I love about it. I've never ran to anybody that's been, I've never had a bad experience with anybody I ran into, who seemed like they were just out of touch with the people. But that's why everybody's just everybody, and I enjoy meeting people no matter where.
Yeah, it's a blessing, like to be able to say, hey, will y'all come on the show? And then you say yes. It's like, they people just like me. So I do. I really appreciate just the time that you guys have, taken out. But to meet people, in the community or, at the park or, anywhere, like what does that do for you? Because I know you've met all kind of people.
All kinds. Yeah. And being community health work, yes, you meet everybody, every kind of people. People who was up here, who's now down there. People who's down here, who's now up here. Yeah. Presidents. I haven't had a chance to meet President Barack Obama and Miss Michelle. I've seen, I was very close hand touch, but I want to, like real stuff. But other than that, I'm blessed to have met and known so many people. And with my children, my daughter and Joelle, I drag them so many places. And because of Jewel's position later on, then people look back and say, you know what, you are that lady that was there, but they forgot my name after him. They like, you're Jewel Jones' mom, right? But just having the opportunity to meet so many people and be able to call them up, have them on my phone, and I can reach out to them when I am in need of something, or when the community or when the business community is in need of something, like Great Lakes Women Association, the small business collaboration, just so many different things that I can help people and hook people up with, and get some great response for and some great results from. Just being able to have things at my fingertips is just a sheer blessing. Thank you, Mr. Darwin, for hooking us up with Miss Kim. It's just a pleasure.
That is so powerful that you say that, because it's not just about meeting people. Right. You know, like you said, there has to be something that God is going to do, you know, in it, but purpose, you know, like, so if there is something that you can do, if there is a resource that you have, if there is conversation or encouraging words that you can use to uplift somebody or help push somebody along that maybe want to do politics or want to be a community health worker or chamber, you know, a business or something like that's, to me, that connection. Like when you meet people that has, you know, some stature, you know, some people that has some weight, you know, in their life, you do want people to meet them. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to meet y'all, but I really wanted people to know, like, really who you are and where your heart is and where your mind is and how, you know, your spirituality is, so they can see, you know, just how powerful you are and they can connect.
And one thing you mentioned too about, you know, just asking us to get on the show, I think it made me think about years ago. It's called Blog Talk Radio. I think when I was on city council, it's like an online platform, and somebody reached out on Facebook, and I didn't know him at all. His name was Bishop Guillory, and like today, this was probably 7-8 years ago. Today, he's like a adopted uncle of mine. He stays in California, and he used to have me on the show, and I would be speaking on the show with Dick Gregory. And at the time, I'm so not in the mindset of it that I'm sitting on the phone, and years later, I'm like, I was on the phone.
Like, you get it now.
You know, and so we just never know, even sometimes we're in the middle situations, you know, what's going to come out of it, or even some of the wisdom that we get by just being willing to do something. You know, sometimes being willing is what, you know, gets you to where you need to be.
Absolutely. And, you know, even the names that we may say, you know, I'm pretty sure that people be like, oh, I was on the phone with Joel Jones, you know, I talked to him. So, like, all the time as we're lifting people up, people are lifting us up too. So I do want to ask you, as far as, you know, when it comes to your business sense, because you got a lot of business sense, right? Yes. Holla. Right? That is something that it just took off for you, right? And that's like your brand. Right. So what are you doing with that now?
Yeah, it's a brand.
Come on, look.
Gotta make sure I get it on there for y'all.
Come on, let it all hang out.
And I got a company shirt on today. The Hollow, that was like a social experiment, you know, and because I didn't come up with the word, but we was like, you know,
it's a regular, everybody's saying,
right,
but it stuck with you.
Exactly. That summer we were campaigning for city council. I really do not even remember where it came from, but we just started saying it, and I started using it on everything. And next thing I know, I missed the holla out there in the community. We got the seasoned folks saying it to children, and it's just like, wow. But it really let me know, like, when something catches in the community, it can, you know, whether it's good or bad, it can be a thing, you know. And
Yeah, even the seasoned people, you know, like, oh, I loved it, you know, and that's, to me, that's how you bridge the gap. Right. You bridge the gap, you know, and that's something that you did. You did more than just run for office, you know, so you did a lot for the community. And with you know, watching all of that happen and unfold, I know that had to be an excitement in the family.
It's always excitement, you know, but you just never know what's going to happen in the next moment. I think back to some of the times when Joel was in office and running around, and even now when he's on different platforms, and he say, well, give me 1 moment, give me 1 minute. You know, look to your neighbor. And then he ends up and I want everybody at one time to say holla. And everybody, young, old, so he became the holla person. But, you know, God is good all the time. The God of Israel is so great, and I am so thankful that, you know, he blessed me to be an incubator for such wonderful children. You know, I got 2 beautiful children, and people ask me, well, how did you raise them like that? I said, well, have them tell it. I beat them and, you know, all that other kind of stuff.
It worked,
But, you know, I love them and I cherish them, and, you know, they're who they are. They're grown, you know, and I tried to be a great example for them, put in the most love I can and squeeze it into them, and and then we all have to do what we got to do to make our lives work. So we go through different things, and we be thankful for the outcomes, the great outcomes, and the other ones, because we wouldn't know one without the other.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think about too how you served our country.
Yeah.
Like, is there anything Joelle has not done, y'all?
I don't think so.
When you think about, making a decision like that to serve, our country, like, to me, it takes an extra special person to want to serve, and I tell my husband now, because I've watched his life, he's a Marine, a retired Marine, and I always say, if my husband was not a military person, would I have a heart for our military? And I've been walking with him, watching him serve. He loves it. He has friends, they love each other and all of that. And I say, it's just an extra special person that does that. Now, everybody has their reason why they join a branch or be with a branch, but everybody should do something for a serviceman. The thank you for your service, I learned it's not just lip service, like there has to be a real tangible type of thank you. So when you look at how the decision that you made to serve your country, like, would you recommend to a young person today, like, hey, this is something that could help steer you, guide you, in the world that we're living in today?
Yeah. And, as when I look over the course of history, sometimes I'm against it, unless it's, you mentioned purpose earlier, and I think that's important when it comes to service in the military. And I think as long as you have in your mind, you have a mission in your mind and something that you're looking to accomplish by going and doing, different things, I think it's great. I think it's a wonderful career for individuals. You learn a lot of different discipline. If you need something to do and you just need to get away, it's a good opportunity. It's a great resource. But I like to tell a lot of people, make sure you have a plan when you do it, before you go, because if you've never been on your own, or you never, been exposed to so many different things, and you just out there just free, a lot of stuff happens to people, and a lot can just happen. So I always tell people, it's something worthwhile, but whenever somebody's serious about doing it, I like connecting with the people that I know, I can trust to help guide them through the process, because you're dealing with contracts, at an early age. For a lot of people, you're dealing with contracts, like life-binding contracts, paperwork that you have to deal with. You can get sent all over the place. There's different jobs you can pick, and it's not just about that immediate decision, but it's about, what do you want to do afterwards. What would you like to transition into? And so it's important to have a mentor and a guide when you join, but I definitely recommend it for people that might want to go in that direction.
Yeah, that's really good, y'all. He is very well connected. Even can help you with the military.
We can.
That is really cool, because a lot of people, some people want to go, as a first option, and then there are some people that's my last option. Right. So to have that type of guidance, to have somebody to be able to talk their thoughts out and things like that. That's really good to have, because everybody doesn't have that. Right. And mentorship. Mentorship is so important, whether you're a female or a male. Right. No matter what you're doing, no matter what your job is, it's always good to have a mentor.
So true.
Yeah. So I thank y'all so much. I cannot stop saying, thank you. But the connection that you two have, like, that is something I think is contagious. Like, there's a lot of mother sons, mother daughters, and their children that are doing great things, in the community. Are there things that you are looking to do together that is going to, like, really, make a difference for families?
Well, we travel. We traveled, like, we flew out to California for a week-long assembly out there, and my dad and my sister were still back here, but me and Mom was out of town, and we was hanging out, ready to work, and spreading the good word and love and different things. So I don't know if it's anything particular that we plan out, but just the nature of us both working in similar circles and then working around each other is just something organic that always happens because we just happen to be in the same space with other people, you know, and it's just like something just catches, you know, always.
That's amazing. Y'all hanging, y'all working, but y'all having a good time.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate President Joel Jones, I think it's the Chamber of Commerce, coming through, because young minds bring new opportunities, fresh ideas. You know, he's the son, but he's over, you know, so, and he know I know how to pay attention sometimes, but, you know, it's all love. But I just appreciate that he's willing and able to do what he does. He's been around enough of people, been in enough of arenas, got enough of connections that we can make this even greater than it has been in the past. And that's what I look forward to. Just making this commerce just, you know, pop as it should in our city.
Come on, pop.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, y'all, it has been a true joy for me today. I am so thankful that y'all stopped by. I'm so grateful that we had this conversation. And like I said, we are connected for life.
That's right.
Don't kick me to the curb after the show. You are always welcome here at Chats and Chuckles. You know, we had good chats and good chuckles today. But
I'm smiling.
Yes. Okay, y'all. So don't forget all of the things that they talked about today. Reach out to them. Make sure that you stay connected. There's a lot going on in the city of Inkster.
Yes.
Some great things that are happening. Please connect with Pastor Overman and her discovery program for the youth. We got to make sure we get our 14-year-olds paid this summer. So y'all got to make sure that you reach out. I want to thank Darwin. Thank you so much, Darwin. You are amazing. And RJ and the producers here. I am so grateful for all that you do for this show and what you do for this station. So once again, please check out Chats and Chuckles Tuesdays, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Y'all, I'll be back.
.313watkins.com. Streaming on Roku.